Hey everybody, long time no see. Been a whirlwind of a day. As you can see, I look like hell because I woke up at about 1 o'clock after working all night, and my mechanic called me immediately and said, hey, your van is ready, come and get it. So I ran and got it and didn't take a shower or anything, and I've been out all day doing stuff. So as you can see, she is home. Here she is. We left the radiator off because all the little screw holes and stuff on the old one were broken off, and as you can see, the screws are even still in here because they weren't even holding it on. There's a piece of the radiator right there, or the grill, I mean. So we didn't even put the grill back on, but I'm going to get a new one and put it on there so it won't look like crap. But it's running really well, except it's overheating. Well, not overheating, but it's running on the verge of overheating. And I think it's because the radiator we put in is just too cheap. I think it's a 1-row radiator, and it should have a 3-row. So I'm going to talk to the mechanic about it tomorrow and get his opinion. He seemed to be worried about it running too hot as well. So we're going to get that taken care of. It's just got to figure out what exactly the problem is. But I also, before I brought it home, I stopped off and I got nice, pretty new tires. Aren't those sexy? Yeah, they are sexy. Still dirty. I'm going to wash it here maybe in a few minutes and get her looking better. But I'm a little worried about the rear end. It seems to be riding a little low. I think the springs might be a little weak, or maybe that's normal because it's just so heavy in the back. But that's been the day. Now, when I drove it home, I started to smell hot brakes, and I wasn't driving it that hard. I wasn't hitting the brakes that hard. It was just a casual drive home, and it was still burning. And I got home, and I could actually see smoke billowing out of the tire, out of the wheel well. So the driver's side radiator is dragging. I keep saying radiator. Driver's side caliper is dragging. It's constantly holding onto the thing, and it's just getting hot. So I'm gonna put new ones on tomorrow. They're about $30 a piece, so that's not too bad. I'll do that myself and have nice new brake calipers. But I think I'm gonna see if I have the stuff to wash it or not. I don't know if I do, but I have to look. And I'm going to give you a breakdown of everything I've spent, and I'm going to sit down and talk to you about everything I've been through the last few weeks, because it has been I don't even know how to describe it. I was actually telling people who were asking me, how's that van going? I'd say, if anything else goes wrong, I'm going to have to take my own life, because everything that could go wrong did, and I'm going to explain to you why. I also just thought you might want to see this.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
I also wanted to show you this. Check that out. A friend of mine who's a master with wood whipped this up. African Queen. And she is living up to the name, let me tell you. But it's from a piece of wood he had laying around. That's why it looks like it's got water stains on it, because it does. But I'm going to paint it. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet. I was thinking maybe a black background with like a gold trim in here and then red letters. I don't know, what do you think? I think that would look pretty good. But my plan is to put it in the back window. Right there, something like that inside. I think that would look really cool. The back window's a little tinted, so I'm worried it might be too dark. I'm wondering if maybe I should mount it to the outside somehow. Maybe up here. What if I put it up there? Oh, that would look really cool. I'd have to preserve it somehow so it wouldn't rot. Oh, like that. There we go. I don't know if you can see it. I don't have really a good view of the camera, so I think that would look really cool. Oh, I like that look. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. I'd be interested in hearing your opinions or ideas on that matter. I think it's really cool. So, anyway, let's talk about how much this whole thing is running me. Okay. So now I'm going to try to give you the rundown of everything that I've gone through in the last few weeks. It has been hellish. This thing has been a complete can of worms, and I've spent way, way more money than I ever had planned on, ever wanted to. When I started going into this thing, I wanted to spend tops $4,000 on the whole thing. I blew past $4,000 like last week. Alright, so I told you everything that happened when we first got it into the office, or into the shop, and everything that he found and why we had to put a new motor in it. I described all that already. The problem is most of the things that needed to be replaced had to be replaced anyway, whether I put a new motor in it or not. And that's where I got killed. I got killed on all the little stuff. The little stuff, $30 here, $50 there, $100 here, really adds up fast. It's amazing how fast it adds up. Next thing you know, you're spending ridiculous amounts of money and you don't even realize it until it's too late. And by then you're committed to this thing and you think, oh, I've put so much money into it, I'll never get back what I've put into it, so I might as well just finish it and enjoy it and get something out of all this money I've spent. But I'll describe a few of the problems we had when he was doing the motor. First of all, when he got the motor, or excuse me, when he started to tear the motor apart, I went over there to take a look, and there was this guy in there, big, sort of dumpy looking guy with this huge beard, looked like he hadn't shaved in years, and he walks up to me while I'm talking to the mechanic, and he says, "Are you the guy who owns this thing?" I go, "Yeah, I bought it." He goes, "Oh, bad move, man."
That's just something ugly people say.
So I ignore him and continue working. And basically the mechanic tells me at that point that he was able to get the old motor out, but he was worried that he wouldn't be able to get the new motor in without taking off the cylinder heads because it's such a tight fit. And if he had to take the cylinder heads off, there goes the warranty. That would void the freaking warranty. So I just had to cross my fingers and hope. He managed to get it in. He managed to get the motor in and without taking the heads off, which was a relief. So he started to put the thing back together and he couldn't get the radiator to bolt on. The radiator I bought didn't fit. No! And then when I got over there, so they brought another radiator. It cost a few extra bucks, and that one fit. And then he said, "Well, you're probably going to need new fuel injectors too," because he told me at first he probably wouldn't have to do fuel injectors, but then yeah, you have to do fuel injectors. So I looked into the price of fuel injectors. $300. So just when I'm starting to think that we're starting to get toward the end of the problems, he calls me over there and he says, "Yeah, I'm having a problem with there's a fuel leak in the tank. I put the new fuel pump in and it's still leaking. I need your help." So I went over there and he needed me to actually sit in the vehicle and turn the key to turn the pump on while he was in the back looking for the leak. And he found it. The pump itself was defective. It was leaking out of a tiny little flaw in the weld. And I'll show you this picture. Right below my finger is the weld. And it was leaking from there. So we had to pull the damn radiator out, or the damn fuel pump back out, and get a new one. And then he raises up the vehicle and he points at the exhaust and says, "Well, it looks like your muffler has melted and your catalytic converter is probably shot too. So you're going to need a whole new exhaust system, and that's going to be about $500. At that point, I'm just like, so anyway, that's a very short story of this just one damn thing after another, and it has just been a nightmare, and it's finally near the end, and I am just having to shut my eyes and get to the finish line, not think about how much money I'm spending, because it's just torturous if I think about it. But I'm going to open my eyes for a moment, and I'm going to give you a rundown of everything I've spent so far, And I think you can understand my frustration when I get done with this list. All right, here we go. Purchase price, $2,200. Towing and mechanic fees in Maryland, $355. Shipping, $800. Crate engine, $1,750. Labor, $1,050. Radiator, $185, and that's probably going to go up to $300 here fairly soon. Water pump, $41. Fan clutch, $44. Serpentine belt, $34. Spark plug, $16. Wires, $41. Rotor, $15. Rotator cap, $650. Exhaust system, $411. Fuel pump, $150. Radiator hoses, $30. Fuel injectors, $300. O2 sensors, $45. Tires, $375. Engine battery, $94. Coach battery, $127. Miscellaneous items, $100. For a grand total, not including tax, $8,169.50. Oh my God. When I added this up and saw that number, I about hit the floor. It is astonishing how fast this adds up and you don't even realize it's happening. It is horrible. And I think I've pretty much reached at this point the value of the vehicle. And I'm not done yet. I still got more to do. I got to do brake calipers, like I said earlier. I've got to probably put in a better radiator, and it's probably going to need some front end work. I think at least one of the ball joints is going bad. So, and then I still got to do miscellaneous stuff all over the thing before I can go take my trip. And God Almighty, it's wearing me down, folks. I ain't lying to you. I haven't given up. I'm still looking forward to having it done and taking my vacations in it and having fun, etc., etc. But right now, I am just blown away by how much money I have spent. And I have had to put off other projects. I was going to have a bunch of concrete work done here at the house, and that's been put off until next year now because obviously it's too much. Too much all at once. I don't make a ton of money. I'm just a truck driver. Well, that's sort of, but that's basically what I am. And so it took me a long time to save up $8,000, and there it's all gone. So I'm feeling a little low right now, but I'll get over it. It's just a shock, and it's eating at me, but I will get over it. I'm going to shred this piece of paper I made with all the numbers. I'm going to shred it, and I'm never going to look at it again because it's not an investment. I know it's not. It's a hobby. I'm never going to get back what I put into it, ever. You almost never do with a vehicle unless you have a business doing it and you've got your own shop and everything. In that case, you can usually make money, but not very much. It's a money trap, and it always will be. So I'm not going to think about what I could have gotten for $8,000 if I had just gotten another RV, because if I think about that, that's going to just eat at me and it's going to make me not be able to enjoy it. So I'm going to get over this, and I'm going to keep on trucking forward until the job is done, and I'm just going to enjoy it, the African Queen, and have as much fun as I possibly can with her, and just to hell with the expense at this point, because there's just no point in fretting over it, because it's over. It's already done. I've already bought everything. It's already installed, and there's no point. There's no going back now. So I might as well just do it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. So that's where we stand right now. And tomorrow I'm going to wash her, get her, try to make her look a little more pretty, and I'm going to do the brakes. And I plan to film that. So expect a new video tomorrow. That's it. Have a good night.